want this? Don't stop. Is this just a dream? Please. Is this just a dream? Don't stop.
Hello guys, today I want to show my ball lightning sorc for season 2 of Diablo 4. It's my 5th level 100 character, not in the season but since the release of the game, and it's by far the strongest character I've played so far, and I wanted to find a way to play this build in every situation that the game offers right now without flicker step or T-balls. As you can see, I don't have them equipped. I have them, but I don't like to play with them. I only use 3 uniques in this build, where 2 are kind of easy to get, which is Troy Rushers and Raymond, and the one that is a little bit harder to get is the Godslayer crown, but this build would work almost as well without the Godslayer crown, I'm sure. So for the rest of the gear, I'm using accelerating aspect on the gauntlets, which ramps up the damage of the ball lightning because it scales with attack speed. I have maximum crit chance, which is important, and the rest is kind of free to choose. In this gloves here, I have +4 on chain lightning, which is not really necessary. I used these gloves earlier when I was playing chain lightning, so that's why they're still on them. I could try to reroll lightning critical strike damage on them or main stat. But so far I'm really low on gold, and that's why I'm keeping them as they are right now, but it doesn't really make any difference as you have seen in the video. So the Snowfield aspect on the pants to get us 30% increased armor for 5 seconds mainly, and also getting unstoppable when popping the ice armor is also really nice. These pants are only item level 809 because so far I can't find better pants. They have the 2 resistances I needed to get all resistances kept at 70, plus they have the total armor increase and 4 ranks of ball lightning. I think they are kind of perfect, besides the low item level, unfortunately. The boots, of course, movement speed. The third resistance that I was missing from the Paragon board to get to the cap. Teleport for ranks to get the raiment more often, and mana cost reduction. Then I'm using a conceited aspect dagger. A dagger because of the 30% increased damage to close enemies, which is much more useful for this build than the wand with the 15% lucky hit chance. All stats unfortunately running out of money to get main stat, mastery skill damage, close enemies, crowd control. It's all interchangeable, guys. You can pick anything that suits your build or that you are missing somewhere else. Yeah. Conceited is available quite often because we have so much utility. We will always pop some skill and get a barrier because of our passive skill that gives us a barrier when we're popping any cooldown. Or defensive skill, I think it is. The disobedience aspect on the amulet, it's a melee build, so we need a lot of armor, and putting it on the amulet gets us the highest amount possible, which is 99% increased armor. On the amulet itself, I have 25% movement speed increase, shock skill damage, and 2 mastery. So this amulet is actually not that good, but you'd be surprised how much money I put in this amulet to get it better, and how unlucky I am to find an upgrade. And for the amulet slot, so far I failed on this part. We have the prodigy aspect on the legendary ring to get us mana, of course crit, and the rest of the ring is also not perfect. The overpower damage is useless in this build. The vulnerable damage is also quite useless because we are not really utilizing vulnerable damage in this build. But we have the 7.5 crit, the prodigy max roll, fire resistance, and some lightning crit damage increase. Then Tarasha's loop, of course, we have the 4 stacks available in this build, which with this roll gives us 58% multiplicative damage increase, which is huge. And of course, the gravitational aspect, it's a must-have. I would say it's the only aspect that you have to have, or this whole build would not work at all. Also maximum crit chance. The rest of the stats are kind of crap. But which is important, guys. What is important, guys, is that you get tutorial as fast as you can. If you're joining late on the season, and try to get the weapons with the 925 item power to get the maximum damage that you can. So let's jump to the skills next. Yeah, in the basic skill section, you can pick anything. We're not using this at all. You just have to put 2 points somewhere. We're using a frozen orb only as an enchantment, so you have to put 1 skill point in here, and that's it. And it has 2 effects. It gives us the cold stack for the Talrasha, and it chills enemies, which does count as crowd control. So our control, our CC effect buffs will also work on these enemies. Devastation 2 points and Elemental Dominance 3. Then Chain Lightning is our second skill for the enchantment slot. We're going for the Destructive Chain Lightning. It's one of our main incomes. It's for mana. Because we will crit very often, and every third crit, basically or statistically, roundabout every third crit creates a crackling energy. Elemental attunement to have a chance to teleport more often and pop the flame shield and so on. Glass cannon maxed plus the buff from the raiment. Flame Shield Mystical, 25% resource cost reduction while the Flame Shield is active. Teleport with damage reduction. And Ice Armor with the increased mana generation. Then we try to get a little bit more lucky hit chance via the skill tree to get more crackling energy procs from this year, and also from what was it? This. To get the elemental attunement to have a little bit higher chance. And yeah, We hardcast Lightning Spear, so this one goes in our skill bar with the Invoke Lightning Spear because of the stun. You will see that it stun, or you have seen maybe that it stuns. Sometimes you enter a room, there was a pack of enemies, and they are all standing together because they were stunned by the Lightning Spear and pulled together by the Godslayer crown before you even enter the room. And yeah, we have this hardcast, which is available every 14 seconds, but we have some cooldown reduction via the overflowing energy, which gives us the lightning spear hardcast more often. Yeah, so static discharge, lucky hit, critical strikes with shock skills gives us crackling energy, and invigorating conduit is the backbone of this build for our mana generation. It's essential because we get 12 mana when picking up crackling energy, of course maximum ball lightning stacks, and with the wizard's ball lightning which only works on tough enemies. The most enemies die before they are hit 4 times by a single cast of ball lightning, as you will notice when you play this build for yourself, or if you have seen the videos. Then unstable currents, of course, to get us a lot of free casts of any shock skill, which gives us a lot more of stun for from the lightning spear, and more crackling energy from all of our hits of any shock skills, with the prime unstable currents, which increases the attack speed, which directly increases the damage of our ball lightning. Electrocution 3 points for damage reduction while when enemies are hit by the shock skills. And we are using overflowing energy, which is quite unusual I could imagine for some people, because VS Mastery gives us damage increase and damage reduction quite a lot actually, but we're using overflowing energy because we get the cooldown reduction on all of our shock skills, and it's a lot of cooldown reduction that we will get. So our teleport is available very often, and also the lightning spear. Now to the Paragon board. So you can see I play with intelligence in the first board, and it's the charged glyph I'm using. You only have to level it up to level 15 because you have to have this intelligence node inside of the radius, or you won't have the bonus. Static Search is the second one to get all the bonus for dealing damage to stunned enemies, and we're using this legendary node Static Search. So that means every 2 ball lightnings we cast, we fire a chain lightning in the direction of our cursor, and this chain lightning gives us back 10% mana and also makes all enemies vulnerable. Since we are only casting chain lightnings after every 2-second ball lightning, that means every chain lightning will have this buff from legendary node Static Search on it, because the enchantment, chain lightning enchantment, is our only source of chain lightnings, and it is only forming after spending 100 mana. So the 100 mana from the enchantment and the 93 mana from this legendary node, they are working simultaneously. So every chain lightning we fire basically during while we are not in the unstable currents is making everything vulnerable. The third board is Ceaseless Conduit with the territorial glyph, and yeah, elite damage, lightning damage. I need the lightning resistance to get my 70 capped for the lightning damage. The fourth board is the Enchantment Master with all the non-physical damage buffs here available. We put the Elementalist glyph in here because here the Elementalist glyph gives us a lot of bonuses on the available nodes. More than it would give us down here, so that's why we're putting Charge with the 40 intelligence here, but the Elementalist with the 40 intelligence here. And the last 2 boards are fire themed boards, so that's why we put them last, so we don't need these bonuses here. We only need one. and we will have that because it has an intelligence requirement which we are fulfilling. So we get instead of only 6.5 damage reduction, we get the whole 13%. And yeah, we have the destruction glyph here. It's 49 dexterity board, which is the maximum possible amount for sorcerers. We have two glyphs that need the 49%. It's the territorial and the destruction, and the last board is the what's it called, searing heat, with the control glyph. Because I'm not playing with vulnerable, I really did a lot of testing. I tested every variant I could come up with burning, without burning, with vulnerable, with ball lightning enchantment, with I tried everything. I played about 50 tier 100 nightmare dungeons or so, and this variant overall is the best one by far for me. And the only thing you have to keep in mind is when you're doing uber bosses like Duriel or Lilith, you can exchange the control glyph with the exploit glyph, because the control glyph won't do anything in the boss fights for you, so doesn't make any sense to use it. Yeah, and the Vampiric Powers, guys. Vampiric Powers also unusual. I think I'm not using the Vampiric Curse, as you can see. I'm only using the Ravenous for the damage increase, which the ball lightning gets from the attack speed bonus. Then Sanguine Brace, because for two reasons: we're melee and it gives us Fortify, which means 10% damage reduction, and also the main reason for using this Vampiric Power is the 8% increased crit chance, because we need our Chain Lightning and our Lightning Spear to crit as much as we can. As much as we can make possible. So that's why I'm using this Undying, just to stay alive a little bit easier, and Anticipation for having the what's it called, Unstable Currents more often, and Infection to get the 4th stack of Talrasha. So we have 4 stacks of Talrasha. Damage on our ball lightning. And yeah, just one more thing. When I started to test, I was using the enchanter with 65 intelligence here, but I noticed that the 52.8% non-physical damage increase from this glyph are less beneficial to our whole damage. As you can see, it's only 103k. They are less beneficial than the 15% we get from the bonus of the charged glyph, because we're only using the charged glyph for the bonus, because crackling energy itself deals no damage, but the bonus, picking up crackling energy, gives you 5% for 5 seconds, and this can stack 3 times. It actually gives us more damage. So yeah, that's why we're using this. Yeah, guys, that's it. You saw the build performing in the beginning of the video. I hope you liked it. If you have any questions, leave me a comment or anything. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the season so far. I like it very much, and I'm looking forward to the Avatar of Seer, and I'm really excited to see how this build performs against him.